Oh boy, the gears of war are turning and probably could have already started to roll out during the making of this video. This says, in the making of this video, there is some serious military movements happening right now by the U.S. military, the Israeli government as well, that looks like they are working together on what soon will be a coordinated attack on Iran. How will this play out? What will be the bigger ramifications of this? As I would call this the biggest folly and the biggest mistake of Donald Trump's presidency so far. He has shown that he is willing to bomb countries this time around. And listen, the stakes in the situation couldn't be more serious than they are right now, as we are also getting reports of some very interesting Chinese military movements in the time of this potential upheaval and disaster in the Middle East, starting up once again. All of this is the reputation of Donald Trump, and his legacy is on the line. What will he do? As, of course, the rumors and the information we're getting right now is definitely a little bit concerning, to say the least here. If you appreciate our honest perspective and insight into this, since, so many people just either bootlick or they just either just totally incompetent or just bought off by the military industrial complex, if you appreciate our commentary here, subscribe, click the notification button, as we are getting a lot of pizza deliveries to the Pentagon, as there are major indicators of serious activity at the Pentagon by some of the restaurants nearby that are seem to be more busy than usual. All of this as we are also getting footage from inside of Israel with their Iron Dome surface-to-air missile battery systems being moved around to key positions of defense. As according to Israeli sources, they are reporting on the increased movement of their air defense systems near strategic sites throughout Israel. As the U.S. Department of State has issued a level 4 do not travel alert in Iraq due to the risk of tensions and life-threatening risks. All of this, as we are also getting other reports coming in right now, of military personnel told to evacuate their loved ones, their family members, and to prepare for an all-hands-on-deck type of scenario and situation that probably will involve the United States and Israel striking Iran. As the U.S. State Department just issued this level 4 do not travel advisory for Iraq, as they are citing heightened threats of terrorism, kidnapping, armed conflict, and widespread civil unrest. The advisory also highlights that there are severely limited capacity of the U.S. government to provide emergency assistance to American citizens in the region. As right now, the United States is on high alert in anticipation of a potential Israeli-American-linked attack on Iran. As Donald Trump was just asked about this particular situation at the Kennedy Center, and this is what he had to say, which is troubling to say the least here.
Yes, a question from Newsmax. Could you provide an update on Iran? We're hearing reports that U.S. personnel are being moved out of the region within striking distance.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, what's going on? Significant troop movement. They're getting prepared. All hands on deck. What's going on here?
Well, they are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place.
It could be a dangerous place. It really is. But why would it be a dangerous place? Would there be a country attacking another country that would make it a very dangerous place? That would, of course, call for them to retaliate. As, of course, we're acting like we're involved in all of this because guess what? We are.
And we'll see what happens. But we've given notice to move out. And we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens. That's not reassuring. That's not like, hey, guys, don't worry. We'll see what happens. What? What do you mean? What are we going to see here?
Is there anything that can be done to dial the temperature down in the region?
They can't have a nuclear weapon. Very simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to allow that.
They are, of course, talking about Iran. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. The Iranians are saying, if the Israelis give up their nuclear weapons, we'll give up ours. The Iranians are also about to release all the documents that they say that they have gotten, secretly exposing the Israeli nuclear program. As, of course, Donald Trump was asked once again about this, saying, why are U.S. personnel being moved out of the Middle East? What's going on here as diplomats are told to flee the region?
Why are U.S. dependents of military personnel being authorized to leave the Middle East?
Have to say thank you.
You will have to see. Oh, boy. This, as we're getting reports from CBS News, Israel just informed U.S. officials that it is fully ready to launch an operation into Iran. Now, listen. Will the Israelis act on their own? No. The United States is involved here. We have the U.S. envoy Woodcock coming out saying that there's still plans to meet with Iran. We're going to have 6 rounds of talks here coming up Sunday. But with the significant military movement right now, is this a bluff? Is this meant to, of course, scare the Iranians? Is this meant to send a message to Iran? As we're getting information right now that U.S. officials have been informed that Israel is fully prepared to initiate an operation against Iran. The situation is one of the reasons the U.S. has advised some Americans to evacuate the region. Very serious situation that, of course, is going to get that much more serious. I want to talk about the U.S. involvement and how much of a disaster this is, and how absolutely this is a huge blunder and mistake that Donald Trump is committing here. Before talking about that, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up for that, what are you doing? Click the link in the description. We appreciate your support more than ever. We need your help more than ever. We've been through hell and back doing this type of work that we do here on this particular YouTube channel. It hasn't been easy, and many times it's been very difficult. There's been many efforts to try to cancel us, destroy us, demonetize us, downrank us in the algorithms. But I am one persistent Slavic man. All right? I am one persistent Polish man that doesn't declare defeat. And that's predominantly because of your support. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your support. So thank you so much for signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com. It means the world to me. Plus, we do really cool things. We're going to be doing a range day, and we are going to be doing, more importantly, a competition between my members, you guys who sign up right now to LukeUnfiltered.com. Make sure to check your spam box to get your login credentials, against Jeremy from the Quarterings members. They're going to be drinking booze. We're going to be drinking kombucha. We're going to be engaged in a competition. The winner of that competition gets a grand prize from me and Jeremy, and we're doing that in Milwaukee, July 9th. I got to ask my guys to make a post about this. I'll ask our button pusher staff to make a post about this so we could inform people. Sign up. We got to beat that hairy, gargantuan man and his clique on his own home territory in the physical competitions to prove a point. I don't lose. I'm persistent. Listen, you got a lot of different things when you sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com, but we can get the glory of victory. So sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. We're doing a members meetup, Milwaukee, July 9th. Competition is going to be a lot of fun. And I appreciate everyone who, of course, signs up to, of course, make this happen. Now, this is an important aspect here. Is it Israel telling the United States it's ready, or Israel working with the United States in order to make this happen? Now, lots of news reports are talking about how Israel is very close to attacking Iran, how the U.S. Is preparing to evacuate many of its embassies in the Middle East, and U.S. tankers are passing the Persian Gulf have been put on alert here, as we're getting reports from the Washington Post that the U.S. will join Israel with its war against Iran that will now involve us, as the Washington Post is reporting right now that the U.S. will back Israel if it decides to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. All of this is just on the heels of a major phone call that happened between Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump just a few hours ago. As Michael Tracy here definitely hits the point a little bit more close to home, saying specifically, if you believe Israel would attack Iran without authorization or coordination with the United States, which they are fully dependent on their defense on, which we pay $6 billion to annually, and even now more under the Trump administration, for them to have advanced missile and fighter jet systems and air defense systems that we don't even have the capabilities ourselves for. If you think that the main country we're bankrolling isn't going to the United States and saying, hey, we're doing this or not? He says, quote, "You are in strong contention for world's biggest dope." We had a comment here saying, I, of course, don't believe it, but I believe the U.S. would lie about it so that they can portray the image that they were forced into it. Either way, the image for Donald Trump is that this is a huge mistake, a huge blunder. And we know, listen, it's Donald Trump calling the shots here, all right? This attack, let's just say the Israelis are acting on their own accord. They're now showing Donald Trump that they get to do whatever they want. And Donald Trump isn't the peacemaker that he promised to be. He isn't the president he promised to be. He isn't the man that we all voted for. That's what's at stake here, as well as his reputation. And if he allows this war to expand and to continue, his legacy will be one of a president who did not keep his promise. As we are continuing to bankroll and support a foreign government that, in my opinion, is creating a big mistake that will upend and create massive levels of human suffering with a disastrous foreign policy decision that does not need to be made here. We're also finding out from Reuters that the U.S. has warned countries not to attend the UN conference for a two-state solution, as the United States in the United Nations was the only country a part of the National Security Council that voted against a ceasefire inside of Gaza recently, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. Iran just posted this. Again, the Iran, big military. Are they advanced and as capable as the United States and Israel? No. But they just posted this quote saying, "We are ready," hashtag Iran, posting their flag here from the official Islamic Republic of Iran Twitter account. Iran also announced, according to the New York Times, that they are ready for an immediate counterstrike. Iran's military and government leaders have met to plan a response to a potential Israeli strike that would involve an immediate counterattack with hundreds of ballistic missiles, according to a senior Iranian officials. As now, there will be a regional war that could be going underway as we're speaking right now. As we have the Iranians, again, saying a lot of bombastic things. And they're saying that they're ready. And they're saying that, you know what, we're not just going to attack Israel. We're going to attack probably the American interest that allowed and helped this attack happen. And there's a lot of military installations around Iran. What will happen to them? What will happen to our boys? What will happen to our troops who are put in danger? For what? Why are we doing this? How does Iran pose a threat against the United States and our national security? How? I haven't heard a legitimate argument. As Iran is warning that if war breaks out, not a single U.S. base will remain. Listen, the United States has very significant military hardware that they've been sending down to the region for the last few months. The United States could probably handle itself well, but there will be other casualties here. Now, there was a moment between Bibi and Donald Trump that I thought needs to be played again. This was a few weeks ago, as a reporter talked about how this is the time to go after Iran as they're so weak. And again, the Israelis have been working on attacking Iran for a very long time. Benjamin Netanyahu went to Congress in 2002 and said, Iraq, they have nuclear weapons. They're going to use it against America. Just a few months ago, he came back and says, Iran, they have nuclear weapons. They're going to use it against America. I'm like, we heard that one before. We heard that one, and it didn't really work. This interaction here I thought was very telling between Donald Trump and Bibi here.
I'm so weak. Isn't it the right time to give them authorities once and for all?
So you say Iran is so weak. I appreciate you saying that. They're not weak. They're very strong right now.
No. Are the Iranians strong? Listen, they're three times, their military is 3 to 4 times the size of Iraq. And we saw what happened in Iraq. Iraq was a disaster for the people of Iraq, the American military. The Iranians have also been working on a lot of drone type of warfare. And they have been advancing their relationship and military ties with the Russians that have been giving them some advanced stuff, especially when it comes to missile defense systems. Now, Matt Walsh here, I think, shares the sentiment that a lot of us share right now, and he says, Iran does not pose any credible threat to the United States. We do not need to get involved in yet another war in the Middle East for reasons that have nothing to do with defending our own nation. Yeah. Someone send that memo to Donald Trump. Donald Trump, what the hell are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are we putting not just our boys in danger, but the security and the sanctity of the world? As we have to understand here, this will lead other countries to act as well. Expect things to pop off with China, Taiwan, potentially Pakistan, India, Russia, Ukraine. This right now, especially if the United States decides to get involved in now multiple conflicts. If they get involved in this conflict, the Russians and the Chinese are like, okay, it's our time. They're involved in the Middle East. Now it's our time to get involved with our interests that we want to take advantage of. And all hell will break loose. The Chinese are already moving significant military hardware right now as well. Why are they doing that? Because if the United States is involved in another Middle Eastern endeavor, last time that worked out really great for us, didn't it? Thanks, neocons. The neocons are in charge now. The neocons are in the office. The neocons are dictating what Donald Trump is going to be doing, and they're essentially controlling Donald Trump. And Donald Trump no longer is the president that, of course, cares about his promises, his campaigns, if he allows this to happen. If you're Donald Trump, you go to the Israelis, you're like, cut it out now. I'm not playing this game. I'm not supporting you guys. I'm going to cut you guys off if you guys do this, especially without my authorization, which, again, it's not happening. The United States gave them authorization. Congresswoman MTG says, I don't know anyone that even thinks about Iran. Americans don't want to bomb Iran because the secular government of Israel says that Iran is on the verge of developing a nuclear bomb any day now. We've been told that for the past 20 years. Yep, the same story. Everyone I know is tired of U.S. intervention and regime change in foreign countries. Everyone I know is disgusted with Democrats for supporting a literal war against America by foreign nationals and communist anarchists waving Mexican flags while they violently riot, burn, and attack police in American cities. Everyone I know wants us to fix our problems here at home, not bomb other countries that have nothing to do with our own self-inflicted problems. Now, when you say America first, what did you think you mean here? You mean America first. Now, if Israel strikes Iran, the United States, listen, this is the right thing that should happen, but it's not. The United States needs to sever ties with Israel right away. And you look at the sentiment here. No war with Iran. War with Iran will ruin Trump's entire legacy. Yes, it will. Sovereign bro. Can't tell if we're actually going to war with Iran or if there's nothing ever happened, chuds are about to be vindicated for the 6th millionth time. Harris Smith. If we go to war with Iran, the protests are going to be insane. Listen. He also said, absolutely, Ray. This is just ridiculous. I'm going to retweet this again. I said this in April 8th. They have been building for a very, very long time here. And the situation is a bit ridiculous here. Now, a lot of people are claiming World War III is imminent. As a lot of experts are claiming, hey, there's going to be conflicts that are going to escalating, unfolding, and building up in regions and territories where there's no going back from, especially when it comes to North Korea, China, Taiwan, Ukraine, Russia, Pakistan, India. Listen, all hands on deck here, especially when countries see their time and opportunity to strike. We're getting reports China just sent 2 aircraft carriers into the Pacific for the first time ever. Why are they doing that? As a lot of people are warning World War III, from tanks to shelters, how Germany is preparing for a global war on the 115th anniversary of World War I with Operation Deutschland. Oh, the Deutschland. The Germans are ill-equipped, unprepared, and they don't have the energy resources to launch a conflict here. Okay? Now, what is going to be happening with Israel, with the United States? I mean, right now, they could already start the bombings. If they do, they will probably try to go after Iran's nuclear facilities. You can't do that with one bombing run. You need a huge or the United States and Israel do this all at once and launch one of the biggest military operations ever. If Israel is doing this, they're going to need to, of course, have a very long-pronged attack here in order to get rid of their nuclear capabilities. Listen, the Israelis have been building this up for a while. They've been going after Hamas, that were supported by Iran. They've been going after Hezbollah. They've been going after the Syrian government. They're going after the Houthis. Very successful campaigns against all of them. All of their proxies are done. And this is why Israel is like, oh man, if they all attack us all at once, we're screwed. Iran's the last big piece of the pie that they want. They want to make sure that they destroy. Will they be able to destroy it? With the help of the United States, yeah. But what would that cost us? That's a question I think is worth asking. If you agree, share this video. Sign up to lookunfiltered.com if you appreciate our unbiased anti-war voice that we have had here for over 21 years. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. Pray for peace. All on youtube.com/wearechange.